This time on the Texas Goonie Bird. I'm from Messina Hof sparkling white grape juice because I have to fly today.
Cheers.
I had just gotten home from work on Saturday afternoon and the weather looked pretty nice. So the family and I decided to take a short little jaunt from my home base on the outskirts of Houston to Bryan College Station to check out a local winery. On the way we saw some of the floodwaters from the recent storm in the Houston area that still hadn't subsided completely. For those of you who are not from around this area, College Station, which is shown on this sectional in yellow, is the home of Texas A&M University, which is where I got my undergrad degree back in the 80s. It's also where I started my flight training. You see, I built up a small savings working odd jobs. So one day I said to my mother, I either want to buy a motorcycle or learn how to fly. I'm not really sure she heard the second part because she just said, "My heavens, motorcycles are so dangerous." Well, I took that as my implicit approval of aviation, so that was the start of it all. Anyway, we were based out of Easterwood, shown here. But when we were training, we'd often go over to Coulter Field for some touch and goes. So today we decided to head over to Coulter to see what it looks like, and then go over to the Messina Hof Winery nearby. Looking back at my logbooks, it has been 30 years since I flew into Coulter. I'm not sure how that's even possible because I still feel like I'm 19 years old. So I guess this flight will be a reunion of sorts. Here we are arriving at Coulter. It now has a really nice runway, which is not quite what I remember from 30 years ago. Unfortunately, after I tied down the plane, the local FBO had just closed, and we hadn't made arrangements for a loaner car beforehand. No big deal. Messina Hof is about 2 miles from Coulter Field, and we go for family walks almost every day. We started out at the tie downs over here and headed toward Messina Hof, which is just southeast of the field. We locked up the plane, put our stuff in a backpack, and headed down the taxiway toward the winery. Rita saw part of the airport fence was temporarily torn down, so we took it for a shortcut that saved us several minutes. At the southeast end of the airport, we noticed a sign for a B&B. I've never been there, but it might be something to investigate. Keep on walking. A short while later, we saw the Messina Hof sign. Now we're getting close. I hadn't looked at the Messina Hof website beforehand, but we were pleasantly surprised to see that they were not only open, but they had a festival going on with an outdoor band. We checked out some of the festival exhibits. Then we went inside to the main wine room. This place is hopping today. We went out to their patio that overlooks a beautiful pond. The kids can feed the fish right from the balcony, while the adults can imbibe in the refreshment of their choice. I do like to enjoy a nice glass of wine now and then, but I knew I was flying back this evening, so instead we opted for a nice assortment of cheese and non-alcoholic sparkling grape juice. Okay, we're having some I'm from Messina Hof sparkling white grape juice because I have to fly today.
Cheers. And I'm drinking it also because I don't want to feel guilty when I'm drunk and he's sick.
But she can if she wishes.
It would not be fair. Say hi, kids. And
Cheers.
we walked here. Cheers.
We walked here. It's about 100 miles to get here, but we walked here. Fine.
100 yards.
We'd like to thank Messina Hof for having us up here. It's a blessing to be up here. We enjoy playing music for people listening. So y'all sitting there listening means the world to us. So my hat goes off to you guys.
Messina Hof also has a great restaurant and a bed and breakfast for those of you who might wish to enjoy a glass or two of their fine wines. So by now it was starting to get late and the time had come to head back home. So we started our walk back to Coulter Field. Of course, we had to stop to look at the Cessna doing some pattern work there. I did my pre-flight inspection, hopped back in the plane, and then did the run-up. Everything looks good, so we taxied to the runway. Looks like that Cessna is still doing some patterns. Okay, here we go. Hey, better take that air scoop out before we start flying. There we go. We climbed up to 5,500 feet. If you look at my view, it starts getting a little hazy as the afternoon progresses. I usually try and get VFR flight following for most flights greater than about 50 miles, which is exactly what I did this evening. Just another pair of eyes to help me watch for traffic. Haze can mean smooth air, and in this case it was smooth as glass all the way home. Look at that beautiful sunset. And here we are on final approach back home in Hooks Airport. It was almost 8 o'clock, right at sunset. I was cleared to land long before I could even see the airport. We basically had the whole sky to ourselves. Now that's a rarity at Hooks. What a sweet ending to a great afternoon. Well, now that I'm back home, I'm going to enjoy a glass of this Cabernet Sauvignon from Messina Hof. Until next time, we'll see you on the Texas Goonieberg. Cheers.